What's going on, boxing fans? I'm here to give my post-fight thoughts on Lamont Peterson versus Timothy Bradley, which took place last Saturday. Good showcase, good showing from Timothy Bradley. He came out and proved a lot of the skeptics, including myself, wrong. I did predict the matchup to be a close, either split decision or unanimous decision for Lamont Peterson, but it was the only prediction I got wrong on this on Saturday it was for this matchup. But anyway, on to the matchup. I thought that Timothy Bradley showed that he was on another level on Saturday night because Lamont Peterson is a very good fighter, and I think what happened was he didn't adapt well. I don't think he adapted to Timothy Bradley's style. I thought Timothy Bradley was too much for him. And onto the matchup, the first round. I thought Peterson was winning, controlling the matchup with his jab. It was kind of a chess match. Like I said, I thought it was going to be a full onslaught chess match. I thought both fighters were going to just show off both techniques and all that, and their skill and all that. I thought they were going to show that off, in the whole fight. But the first round was what I thought the whole fight was going to be, and then it all changed when Bradley stunned Peterson. It all changed, and Peterson's demeanor changed, and we got a different matchup. Peterson was known for holding up that tight guard. Wasn't in the guard in the matchup. Bradley was able to land a few right hands. I believe it was a right hand that hurt him. So I gave the first round to Bradley. Bradley hurt Peterson again in the second round. So I gave the second round to Bradley as well. Third round, I scored a 10-8 because there was a knockdown in the round, even though the shot was a little behind the head. But Peterson did come back and land some very hard shots to the body. Fourth round, I gave to Lamont Peterson. I gave it to Lamont Peterson because he was, making Bradley fight with him on the inside, land some crucial body shots. Fifth round was very close. I scored the fifth round for Lamont Peterson in a round that could have gone either way. And 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, I gave the Timothy Bradley. 11, I gave the Lamont Peterson, and 12, I gave to Timothy Bradley. So I had 9 rounds of 3 for Timothy Bradley. Timothy Bradley in all the straight rounds that I had him winning was basically just controlling the matchup. He was beating Lamont Peterson to the punch. It was like this. Timothy Bradley. It was like the Malignaggi fight. Timothy Bradley was throwing first, and Peterson was swinging, but at the same time, Peterson was missing. So, Bradley was landing more effective blows. He was landing the harder shots, controlling the pace. He was on his toes. He moved. Didn't give Peterson a stationary target, and won the matchup very, very easily because of that. Bradley's quick on his feet, and he's not the biggest power puncher. Doesn't have the biggest knockout ratio, but he was hurting and stunning Peterson, and took him to deep waters where Peterson has never been in his career. So overall, it was a good matchup for Timothy Bradley. I hope to see Lamont Peterson, contend for a title again. I do believe that Lamont Peterson will be a titleist in the 140-pound division, but he wasn't going to beat Timothy Bradley. Timothy Bradley is showed on Saturday night that he is on a much higher level and deserves to be on that top tier level status that a lot of fighters like Mayweather, Pacquiao, even Mosley or whoever, Marquez, all those guys, he deserves to be on that top tier status, even though he hasn't fought anybody capable of putting him there. I do believe he deserves to fight a top level opponent sometime in maybe 2010, maybe by the end of 2010. I think he'll be ready. But overall, it was a good matchup for Timothy Bradley. I hated to see Lamont Peterson lose, but at the same time, Timothy Bradley showed that him and Lamont Peterson were on different levels. And on top of that, the competition level that Bradley's fought in, proved to be a strong, you know, a strong advantage for him. Peterson, I hope he fights some good opponents following this matchup. I hope that I hope that he comes back. I hope he comes back and possibly even fights Bradley or even someone like Devin Alexander later in the future. But anyway, good match for Timothy Bradley. Congrats and props to him for his win. Props to Lamont Peterson for at least trying his best to stay in the fight. And he was, he did fight past 11, 12 and was desperately vying for the knockout, but he wasn't going to get it because he only has like 13 knockouts in 27 fights, so it wasn't going to happen. But anyway, that was my thoughts on the fight. Big ups to Timothy Bradley. Thanks for watching. That was Distance. Peace.